All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Electric Batcast. My name is Cale.
I'm Rachel.
And today on the show, we're going to have the year-end earnings. Rachel has compiled all the data, and you can hear what happened in, what was that, 2024?
2024, the top earners of the entire year.
That's going to be something else. We're also going to talk about who is the best pinball artist to do a He-Man pinball machine, and why doesn't Spooky use stern flippers, all coming up next on the Electric Batcast.
All that and more.
Today's episode of the Electric Batcast is brought to you by Stern Pinball's Insider Connected. Head to sternpinball.com to sign up today. Marco Specialties, everything pinball, pinball parts, and more at marcopinball.com. And Game Room Goodies. Check out GameRoomGoodies.com for new and used pinball machines, arcade games, jukeboxes, pool tables, and more. And now, the Sherlock and Watson of pinball, Rachel Bess and Cale Hernandez. Rachel. All right, folks, what's happening? We're here. Sorry about that, moving the mic around a little bit. What's coming up at the Bat? Any new games? What's the latest game we've added?
We put Addams Family on the floor 2 nights ago.
Addams Family, an absolute classic.
That was the first game. That one was the only game that I've ever had any weird twinges about putting out on the floor. That's the only game that I'm sentimental about. It was the first game that I bought for me, and it was. I had some feelings when it went out onto the floor.
It felt good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It felt good.
Yeah.
But it's also it's probably like how people feel when they send their kids off to college or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I can feel that. Also, I mean, the latest new game was the Metallica Remastered, I believe. We're waiting for Dungeons and Dragons. Probably be there within the next couple of weeks. And Judge Dredd. We
had it on the floor, off the floor. It's a super fun game, and it's clean on the surface.
Yep.
We found some very bizarre wiring issues in it that someone at some point had done before we got it. And one of the Fliptronics board is hacked beyond repair.
Looks like they blew some things on it.
Yeah, they lifted some traces when they tried to fix some things at some point. Yeah. So we've got a new board on the way, and that'll be back out on the floor as soon as we undo all of the wiring from before.
Good job, and great troubleshooting with you and John Chappell.
Yeah,
helping us out, finding that weird wiring.
Yeah,
they did some weird stuff. Yeah. It looks like they were trying to send power to things in very creative ways.
Yeah, they were trying to end run transistors. Oh, well, we blew this, so if we just tie these 5 things together, that might do it.
It seems like one of those cases where someone knew just enough about electronics to be dangerous.
Yeah, somebody did not have the correct parts with them, so they're like, well, we'll just cut all of these things, and I can still get it running for you, sort of. And it was experiencing some intermittent flipper issues.
Yeah.
And now we know.
Like they just wouldn't work.
Well, they would work fine, and then they wouldn't work at all.
Right.
We've traced it. It'll be back out
Fantastic.
soon.
That's the new games. Tournaments coming up. Of course, we have Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Every Tuesday at 6:30.
Still 6:30, still every Tuesday.
League night. And then the last Sunday of every month, Chewy's world famous, all classics, Bounty Knockout Tournament.
Except not this month.
Let's not add any more to that.
This month, it's not the last Sunday because that conflicts with the SPF.
Oh.
So it's actually going to be, I believe it's the 16th. It's the Sunday before.
Interesting. I might have to change that on the website because when I updated it for 2025, I think I put it on the last Sunday.
Oh.
I'll do it right after we're finished recording the latest episode of the Electric Batcast. Also, thank you so much to our sponsors, Marco Specialties. If you type in EBA150 at checkout, what do you get?
You get free shipping on any order over $150.
Man, we love that. And thank you so much to Stern Insider Connected. A lot of cool race stuff still going on. But what's really cool, February badges.
Yeah, they're out.
They're out. Get those things. Check Stern social media, Facebook. They're even on TikTok.
I'm not really on TikTok. So
I'm on Instagram most of the time, so I see all this stuff. And,
I got to get on TikTok. I mean, I have a TikTok. I just don't use the TikTok.
TikTok's still here.
Yeah. Gone. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Cool. And also Game Room Goodies.
Can't forget them.
Supplies us with all these great games and has excellent white glove service.
Yeah, we love them.
And customer service. Yeah, thank you so much. Game Room Goodies. If you want anything for your game room needs, they have it. Not just pinball machines. They have everything you can think of. If not, they'll find it for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Great people. Let's go on to... Do you want to do the year-end thing, or do you want to do a few mailbags?
I want to talk about my Dungeons and Dragons tournaments.
What? I don't even know about your Dungeons and Dragons tournaments. So this is... You're not talking about the Dungeons and Dragons Stern Pinball Machine release party.
No.
This is your own thing.
This is separate from that.
Tell me all about it.
Okay, we've already talked about how excited I am about D&D as a pinball machine because I really like the theme, and I think the theme lends itself very well to pinball, right? But it lends itself so well that I want to do all of these other Dungeons and Dragons themed tournament kind of leading up to the launch party. I'm not sure when exactly these are all going to fall, but keep your eye on social media. We're going to probably do one a week starting in a week or two. And these are going to be regular. They're going to be pinball tournaments, not regular. They'll be pinball tournaments that are based on building characters for a Dungeons and Dragons longer event.
Now, you did a beta test of something like this with a few friends. Is this a spin-off of that? Is this the same thing?
So that is the thing that I did the beta test was Forbidden Realms, which is a whole other Dungeons and Dragons based thing that I started on long before we knew that Dungeons and Dragons was going to be a pinball machine.
Right.
And this is a way that I think that I'm going to expand on that beforehand and give people a nice, easy entry into the world of role-playing games if that's not something that they already do. So let me give you an example of one of these tournaments
I'm here for it.
So that the people kind of understand what I'm talking about. One is going to be based on pin golf. So it's going to have some scoring that's similar to pin golf. And instead of, getting a hole in one, hole in two,
right,
your par, all that, you're going to be taking hits.
Very cool.
So you're going to start off with a pre-built character. So I'm going to provide that. You all don't, nobody needs to do that.
Do you choose your class, or how does that work?
You're going to choose, but you're only going to choose between 3 classes. So it's not going to be complex.
Right.
And so this first tournament, pin golf style, is going to determine the armor that you have going into the next one. So each tournament is going to build on the tournament before it. And they're going to be slightly different styles, but it's going to be very easy, and you're going to be building a character throughout the duration of these 4 tournaments. You can also play them individually, so you don't. If you miss one of them, it's no big deal. You can hop in on the next one. But I think it's going to be fun. We're going to have some cash prizes. We're going to have some some physical prizes. So it'll be really fun. These are not going to be IFPA because we're doing some weird things.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk to Josh. Josh, we're going to have a separate category of things that Rachel likes to do.
Yeah.
And we're even going to get some minifigs involved in some of the tournaments. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
this is very exciting. Will there be a chance for me to hang out on the outskirts of the village and just grind my character so I can raise the hit points or whatever?
Actually, sort of, yes. So the final one, I'm not giving anything away here, but the final one is going to be an actual dungeon base. So we're going to be moving your character around in a dungeon.
Wow.
And you can either, you can try and grind to get more points, but you also... There's some risk there, right?
Risk. You could die.
You can actually die.
Wow.
So in this Rachel's adventure extravaganza, you can die. You can and then you'd have to start from a new character. So you can try and grind skeletons or something like that, or you can try and go for big bosses, get more points, and win win bigger cash and prizes.
This is incredibly exciting. And judging from the people, the select few who got to demo your first run of this game, they were excited about it.
Yes.
They were really into it. The gamers. The
role players.
The role players, the pencil and paper, the dice people.
I
am excited about that. You want to get into a little mailbag?
Yeah, let's do some mailbag.
Now, before I do this, I want to start something new. I want, and I have plenty of questions here. I have almost enough questions for 2 shows, so you have plenty of time to do this. I want to get some recordings from people, so we can sort of get some personality in there, get to know the people more. So if you could send in your questions, let's keep them under 1 minute, and you can even just use your phone. You can do a voice recording and then email it to electricbatarcade
at gmail.com.
At Gmail. And also, if you know how to do it, I've never done it before. I'm sure there's a way to do it. You could also put the audio file on Discord in the Batcast channel.
Yeah. If you can figure out how to do it, that's totally...
I think this would be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
And then we could listen to you guys... Because we have people from all over the world, right? We're going to have some Australian accents.
I want to hear...
Minneapolis accents. What else? Some New Orleans. How y'all are, right?
Yes.
But we want to hear from you. So send us your voice recordings, your questions, and please keep it under 1 minute. And I think this will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to hear you.
Yeah. I got that idea from Prof G because that's what he does on his podcast.
Yeah.
It's fun to listen to that. Okay, so let's get to the mailbag here. First question is actually from Australia, and JD Seinfeld. Is that how you would pronounce that?
Yeah, it looks like JD.
Looks like
to me.
JD. If not,
It's a good reason to do an audio.
Yeah, it's a good reason to do an audio thing. Yeah,
so we don't mispronounce your name.
Excuse me. So hey guys, loving your podcast from down under. Love hearing the stats and thoughts on games. I don't have an arcade, and I know you use tokens, but I have a question. Is there a standard token size that does not conflict with a coin of the UN's currency, so people have to use a token and not cheap out with a penny, a nickel, a dime, or a quarter?
Well, if people could put a penny into our coin slots and start a game, we would be in big trouble.
Yeah.
So the way that the coin mechs are, they are specific to a particular token size, or in our case, they take a particular token or a quarter. So there is no cheaping out. There's nothing like they would just reject anything else. So,
and the particular mechs that we install take tokens and quarters,
right?
Which is cool.
Yeah. Yep.
And Canadian money gets hung up on a magnet.
Yeah.
There's all kind of what would you call them? Safety switches and what have you. And,
yeah. Canadian quarters are magnetic.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
You find out real quickly after you have an arcade.
Yep. There you go. Hope we answered your question. If not, send us a voice recording. We'd love to hear from you. We're moving on. This is from Bonnie Bear via Discord.
Okay.
Question for the Batcast. Well, you wrote to the right people, Bonnie. How would you look into building a pinball community where there is no existing pinball locations? I love this. Starting from scratch. I recently rounded 5 machines in a college town, and there is no other pinball locations within 50 miles. Sounds like you have a monopoly. I like the sound of this. I've noticed I've gotten regulars already, but for many, it's a concept. Should I try something like a high score prize through Insider Connected, free pinball nights, or something else? I want to touch on it. I know you have the same feeling because one thing that stands out to me, free pinball nights.
That's why I was getting ready to interrupt you and say, let me answer the free pinball nights part.
I don't care what business you're in, never give away anything free because it devalues what you do.
Can you imagine if I went to Banana Republic on free shirt day?
Right. You would only go for free shirt day.
I would only go.
If they had a scheduled free shirt day, you would only go for shirt day.
Yeah.
Yep. And hope they have your size.
Yeah. If I went to Trader Joe's on
free egg day.
Man.
So, and I know there are some arcades that do this. I've heard it. They're trying to drum up business by giving away something for free. It completely devalues your product, and you should never, ever do that.
And the only arcades I've ever seen doing that are really trying to get you in the door to drink their alcohol, because that's where those arcades are making the majority of their money, and they're just using the pinball machines as a quick way to get you in the door.
Right.
It doesn't, in my opinion, tend to build community even, because it's just building people looking for freebies, and then they'll go.
Correct.
In this case, they're not going anywhere else. It's 50 miles away. But
100%.
But I agree 100% to never, ever, ever give away your product.
I'm glad. Like minds think alike. Isn't that what they say?
That's exactly what they say.
We think alike.
Yeah.
And then should I try something like a high score prize through Insider Connected? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Do that. Get people used to logging into the machines, hearing the achievements go off. Get that dopamine running, and then they get to see that's the last score I got was this. I want to try to beat that score. Absolutely, get them using Insider Connected
and put up a monitor so everybody can see it.
You want that visual representation.
You can't rely on people it's not the same feeling whenever they have to do steps to check it in their phone. It needs to be mounted.
Right, and TVs are cheap. It doesn't have to be a gigantic TV. You can get one for like $100, and then add a Yo deck. Learn how to use that. It's really simple to use and works very well with Insider Connected. Not only that, you can schedule like slides within a Yo deck so they can advertise when your next tournament is. And that's the last part of this, a consistent tournament. Now, if you're just getting started, I don't know if a weekly is going to work. Maybe at every other week.
Or monthly even.
If
monthly.
You
can wait that long. But you would start... I would just start with my friends, right? Just call 5 or 10 of my friends and say, "Hey, this is what we're doing tonight."
Right. And that's how you build a community. And it's not going to be an overnight success. If it is, fantastic, good for you. This is going to taking all of these things we're talking about and being consistent about it, and just stick with it. And of course, using social media to pump up these tournaments. Do some videos. Explain how cool it is. Like, this is a great way to meet people, because you're going to be playing a game with 3 other people. You're probably going to do that for, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. We do 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could just do 3 rounds.
And don't be afraid to look weird on the internet on videos. Like,
right.
You've really taught me that it's totally fine for me to be as awkward as I am on TV.
Absolutely. Just be yourself.
Yeah. Like, I don't care what anybody else does. I don't think they care if I look weird. So really put yourself out there and be a friendly person and be somebody that people want to hang out with, and you will build that community.
Right. And if all the different social media channels, they can be overwhelming. Just hit Instagram. Really, I mean, that's the one. That's the popular one. That's the sweet spot for the age group of people playing pinball.
But I will say, with Facebook, you can invite people. So I mean, a lot of people get way too many Facebook invites to pay attention to any of them. But like, while you're starting out, it certainly doesn't hurt to send people that Facebook invite.
Right. Here you go. Thank you so much, Bonnie Bear. Hopefully we answered your questions. If not, send us a voice recording and we will play you on the Electric Bat Arcade podcast. Hooper Triplet via Discord. Hooper Triplets has sent us a good bit of questions.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending. Another question here's a short one, more of a small business question than an operator question. Does the management/ownership of social media entities weigh in on your decisions to use them? It doesn't.
0.
I don't pay it.
Not at all.
And I know what you're getting at, especially now. People are like,
I see a whole stream of "I'm going to Blue Sky."
Yeah, Elon's crazy, so don't use X. And that now Mark Zuckerberg's crazy.
Muckerberg.
So don't use Facebook and Instagram. I really don't care.
These are tools for you to meet people.
Right.
And the ownership, guess what? You want people of all different beliefs to get to. That's the fun of pinball. Is
That's
that right. You got far right people, you got far left people, you got raging moderates.
Yep.
You got all of those people together having a great time. And if you effectively edit out groups of those people by only going on Truth Social or only going on Blue Sky. Is Truth Social still a thing?
I don't know.
Well, you get the gist, right? Like, then you're only appealing to like such a narrow group of people, and you don't want to do that. Like, pinball is for everybody. Make friends. Like, that's how we all, know, make the world better, not by chopping down our friends list and
certainly, yeah. So for us, no,
nope.
We like it as a tool. It's like finding out the guy that created the wrench is racist, and now we have to throw out all of our wrenches.
Yeah.
So no, we use these tools. I don't know. We need to. Jamie, pull it up. Okay, let's move on to Pixel Pete via Discord. I like this one. Has anyone replaced spooky flipper assemblies with a current stern flipper assembly? Any issues with that electrically? I love Looney Tunes, and the flipper works great, but I really prefer the solid sound of stern flippers. Thanks for answering my question.
Well, if it was that easy...
Spooky would do it.
Spooky would do it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure Jersey Jack would do it. Like, the flipper feel has very little to do with what you're seeing under the play field. It has that snap that I think you're referring to has to do with the way that it is programmed. That is much further up the line.
Right.
And changing the flippers around isn't going to do anything beneficial.
Right. Because those flipper mechs are basically all the same.
And those flipper bats, you're already using the same flipper bats.
That's all the different feel and what you're really feeling there is latency or lack thereof. Stern's just been using this system and perfecting it. They have such a head start over everybody else. It's not that easy, just like swapping out some parts to get that fantastic Stern flipper feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone's done that.
Nobody's
to answer your question.
Maybe someone's done it, but then they've been very disappointed at how their labor did not pay off.
Yeah. Right on. Thank you so much, Pistol Pete, for the question.
Pistol Pete.
Pixel. Oh. It's Pixel Pete. I'm sorry.
Pistol Pete's was where we went to. That was the pizza
Vegas.
shop.
Oh,
no, here when I was growing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I think it was the. They had the animatronic guys. Left over.
So I had Showbiz.
Yeah, so Showbiz was bought out by Pistol Pete's out here.
How about that?
So we had both.
Well, that gets my Spurs jingling and jangling.
Some Arizona history.
I'll tell you what. Let's move on to Blake via Discord.
Okay.
Do you have to deal with people who have tantrums, or are people chill for the most part? It seems like running an arcade would be fun, but I'm nervous about rowdies. We don't really have problems.
We don't really have problems, and if you're thinking about running an arcade, that is not going to even be on your top 10 of issues.
I think for the most, arcade people are like really cool. All of our friends around here that run arcades, there's not.
No, if
nobody's getting stabbed or anything.
Not even once.
See, like gamers have a certain vibe to them.
Yeah, and if people get upset because they drained and are pissed off about it, like, if they make a scene about it, they're the ones that kind of look foolish. Right.
100%. 100%. We haven't had any issues, and I don't think we will. Thank you very much, Blake. Now we're going on to MN Retro Gamer,
Minnesota,
via Discord. I recently had to get a new coil for my Lost World Jurassic Park pinball machine. I was told by a friend of mine who knows a lot about pinball that you need to get coil sleeves when you buy a new coil since they don't come with them. I didn't know this and replaced the coil, and it seems to be working fine when I test it. Hopefully you put a coil sleeve in there. Do some companies / manufacturers sell new coils with sleeves in them, or should I take a second look to see if it needs a sleeve? All manufacturers that I'm aware of send
it with a sleeve, because you can't use it without the sleeve.
Correct.
So you would be really up a creek.
Yeah, and if you did get a coil without a sleeve, just call whoever you got it from. I know Marco Specialties sends you a sleeve with each coil, and I'm pretty sure everybody else does. So yeah, if you didn't get one with your coil, just call customer service for whoever you send it to, or just get them from Marco because I know they send them out. You have anything to add to that?
You need a coil sleeve.
You need to. You have to use a coil sleeve. It's very important.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking, like, man, you really should open that up and make sure that you have one in there.
Certainly. Yeah. Make sure you do have a coil sleeve in there. And I don't know which games you have. I know he has like a Black Pyramid and obviously the Lost World. But we just bought a whole bag of like your standard sleeves.
We buy them 100 at a time.
Yeah. Because it's quick and easy just to change those things out. We have another question here. Before we get to your fantastic year-end data, we'll tackle this one first. I don't know if I have some more, but we'll tackle this one right now. This is from Team Low Prices via Discord.
Team Low Prices.
Question for the Batcast. After seeing Brian Allen's He-Man art, he just posted that recently on social media.
Yeah, I saw that.
Who is going to be able to top that?
Okay, so I obviously, as the resident Masters of the Universe superfan
and artist.
That's true.
And you have a show right now at the Phoenix Museum of Art.
Phoenix Art Museum.
Which is great.
Yes.
So you are the like if I was an attorney,
I am both.
I would call you in as an expert and pay you very well to answer this question.
Because I am both an artist and a Masters of the Universe superfan.
And a pinball person.
So I am
triple threat.
Wow.
Okay.
So here's how I would answer that. The Brian Allen stuff was very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like there's so many different versions.
Like a more recent
version. The original version is what I think most of us, people of a certain age, remember. But even more importantly was the art that was on the packaging in the comics that was like the Frazetta-looking He-Man art.
And who could do that?
So I would say that Mr. Chris Franchi would be the one that could make the ultimate Masters of the Universe art package. And we believe that art package may currently exist. Yes. So Chris Franchi, he'd be my personal pick. If I was going to hire somebody to do that, it would be him.
And that is the correct answer.
Thank you. I didn't realize I was being tested by somebody with less qualifications than me.
Yes. So there you have it.
But that Brian Allen that was very cool. I liked what he did. So now are we getting into the 2024?
Yes. And I'm excited about this because you compiled all this at the end of the year. Now we're into February. So I've been waiting a whole month. You haven't spoiled anything for me. You said I'm going to see some surprises.
I said you would be surprised. And we have the January numbers too. We'll save that for the next episode, which will be coming up.
Good.
Much sooner than...
More content. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I was surprised by this. So there are... let's see. How much should I give away? Let's just get right into it.
Yeah. Dive into it.
So 10th place, Elvira.
And this is for the year.
This is all 2024. So I added together what everything made.
Elvira
House of Horrors.
House of Horrors.
Yep. And then less than $50 difference. So this was like just barely edged out. Deadpool was number 9.
Fantastic. What a great game.
And then number 8, also just a small amount better than Deadpool, was Bond 60th.
Wow.
So these are all top 10 games. Then number 7, we've got Batman 66. So still, how old is that game?
Well, it was the first Spike 1.
So like 7 years old, 8 years old. It's like...
it's first Spike 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's old. It's been out for a long time. Deadpool is also...
I was working at Marco when that came out.
Yeah, so some of these games... Okay, now we start getting into some interesting things. Those are all great games, and it's no real surprise that they made the top 10. So now in number 6, we have a game that was only out on the floor for half of the year and still was the 6th highest earning game. Do you have any guesses what that might be?
Man.
I narrowed it down for you. I'll give it to you. John Wick. So John Wick did not get onto the floor until May. And still was the 6th highest earner. And that also goes to show you what those contracts did.
Yes.
Whenever we were talking about earnings reports and how much of a difference those made, I think you're seeing it here. And I extrapolated some math, and had it been on the floor for the entire year, based on just what it earned this last January, it probably would have been in the 4th place slot.
Wow, that's very impressive. So we need more of these contracts.
We need more of these contracts.
They kind of dried up for a little bit, probably because the programmers were working on the whole race thing.
But even still, John Wick is a much better earner than what the small group of internet naysayers would lead you to believe. So I just think that that's really, really interesting. People enjoy the challenge of that game. Number 5, this one is really going to blow your mind. It also was only on the floor for about 75% of the year.
Is this Pulp Fiction?
This is not Pulp Fiction. This is Elton John.
Elton John. People, okay. It's the best Jersey Jack machine.
By far.
Hands down.
Yes.
There's no arguments there from people who have played all of them. And it was beautiful. And it, like, everybody, even people that aren't into that type of music, they've heard this stuff on the radio. People were rocking out to it. It's a great game.
It is a great game.
Kudos to Steve.
Yeah.
Richie for creating that.
Yeah, so if you are in the market for a Jersey Jack pin to put on location, Elton John will be the highest earner for you,
and
I believe.
I bet you can get a screaming deal on a used one now.
Yeah, I think so. And that also, so even with that one only being on the floor for the amount of time that it was, and I did the math on that as well, and it actually would not have changed places.
Cool.
Because the differences between, like at the 10th, 9th, 8th, those were getting only very small differences. Now we're getting into some bigger numbers. Okay. So, number 4, Stranger Things. Also a game that's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
A game that was not favored when it first came out, and then had some massive code improvements, and is the 4th highest earner for us.
Boom. Loving
and this
that.
is out of I think we have 65 pinball machines on the floor right now.
Okay.
So these are nothing to shake a stick at.
Top 3.
Top 3.
This is the exciting part.
Yeah, and a huge jump between 4th and 3rd. Like almost 50% higher.
Wow.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction is 3.
Pulp Fiction is 3, and it didn't get on the floor until the end of February, so you really have about 2 months that we have no earnings for. So that one would have been even higher had we got it January 1st.
Cool.
Number 2. Now this is the part where I want you to guess. Let's see. This is also time for the audience to be shouting in their cars.
Well,
do you have... Let's do it a different way.
Is it Godzilla?
It is Godzilla. That's the way we'll do it.
I got it.
You got it right. Yes. Godzilla was the 2nd highest earning game.
Really
for
weird.
The year.
I thought you were about to tell me, no, you're wrong, because Godzilla is obviously number 1.
I would have guessed it to be number 1 based on how it's always at the top.
Okay, so tell me about Godzilla.
Godzilla earned a lot of money for us, and I love that game very much.
And it's going on like 70,000 plays.
Something like that. Yeah. So that means that there's one higher than Godzilla.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Galactic Tank Force. It's not?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
It is not Galactic Tank Force. Yeah. It is another game that was not on the floor for even the entire year, and still earned the most for the year, and that game is Jaws. It also came out in February.
Wow.
So we don't have any January earnings for it, and it still earned the top spot and out-earned Godzilla by enough that it matters.
Boom, you just got Elwind.
You got Elwind.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. So he has number 1 and number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job, Keith.
And
we should send you
send him some flowers.
Yeah, send you some flowers,
and
Keith.
a card.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can't wait for his next one. There's a rumor about it. I don't know if it's true or not, but either way, we're here for it.
Yeah.
Man, how exciting. Thank you for putting all that together. There were some great surprises.
Yeah, it really, I had to go back and double check the numbers on some of those because I just couldn't believe some of that. I was very surprised that Elton John had earned as much as it did. It really did. I think Elton John still may have the record for the highest first month.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Good job.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, that sort of wraps it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up because today we have to go set up for a tournament. We get to do all this. We love doing this stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to do something very cool after the tournament. I'm going to set up a rig, and we got approval from Carl to use this to use the footage. I'm going to set up a rig where Surge. And if you haven't seen Surge yet, go check out some of our streams on Twitch. We started streaming some series finals at Electric Bat. We did the Arizona State Pinball Championship, both open and women's. And Surge is like the GOAT commentator, the absolute gold standard.
Pinnacle.
Yes. So he's a lot of fun. Go check out his commentary on our Twitch stream. Check out the VODs. But he is going to interview World Championship John Schoppel.
John Schoppel. And we haven't congratulated him on this podcast yet because I think that happened after. So
that's right.
Man, a sincere, heartfelt congratulations for one of our very favorite people who we are lucky enough to consider both a friend and an employee.
Yeah.
John Schoppel, world champion.
That's right.
He won Classics at Indisc and, won state the week before that and then won the series the week after that. So he's on a roll.
You can't shake him. You can shape him, but you can't shake him. He
Schoppel
is
in a corset.
the unstoppable John Schoppel.
Yeah.
So anyway, after the tournament tonight, they were going to rewatch the last 3 matches in the Indisc Classics Championship and do a director's commentary over it.
So Serge is going to interview, hey, what were you thinking here?
Yes.
Why did you do this and not this?
And they're going to have a telestrator so they can draw things.
That's going to be a really cool video.
That's going to be sweet, right?
So that'll drop later this week?
That'll drop later this week. We'll record it tonight, and then I'll edit it and put it all together. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for that. If you want to send it, and don't forget, send us. We want to get some audio from you guys. Keep it under 1 minute. Keep your questions under 1 minute. And like I say, it's real easy. You can just record on your phone and then email it to us, or send it via Discord. If you're not on our Discord yet, go to electricbatarcade.com. Click the podcast link at the top right, I think, or you hit the hamburger button if you're on mobile. And then that will take you to a way to listen to podcasts wherever, YouTube, Spotify, what have you. And then there's also a link to join the Discord.
Boy, you got that all figured out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And you deserve some congratulations as well for putting together an amazing streaming rig.
Oh, thank you.
So we've got a lot more streaming coming up too. So definitely give us a follow on Twitch. If you want to do that free Amazon subscribe thing.
Right. Link your Amazon account. Then, we get like $3.
That helps to start pay for some of the stuff to put together the rig.
To pay for a small percentage of the rig.
Very small.
Yeah. Right on. Well, thank you for joining us. We're gonna take off. We have some work to do, and we'll be back soon because we have some more questions. But we want people to send in your audio. Also,
we'll do the January earnings report.
That's what I was thinking of. January earnings report for the next time. Right on. Well, thank you for joining us. We are the Electric Bat Squad out of Arizona.
Come see us in person.
Valley of the Sun, the low desert of the great American Southwest.
It's 82 degrees here today.
It's 82.
Come visit us.
That's right. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Marco Specialties. Don't forget EBA 150 at checkout. Put that code in. Save some money on shipping. Also, Game Room Goodies. And then last but not least, Stern Insider Connected. Get these things connected. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go try to get those February badges. Check out Stern social media to learn all the details.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll see you guys next time. The bats are out.
Bats out.